Ethnocentrism. Miguel's grandmother, Abuelita, strongly believes misjudgments. Throughout the film, characters often act on incomplete information. Language and nonverbal differences. Even if the characters speak the same language, there is a
Okay, so now I'll be talking about the cultural values shown in the film Coco. So in Coco, the value of family unity and loyalty is portrayed as a guiding principle that shapes the character's actions and relationships. The story emphasizes that family comes first, and these bonds transcend both time and death. The Rivera family maintains a strong tradition of sticking together, whether in the world of the living or the land of the dead. Even when Miguel pursues his passion for music against his family's wishes, the resolution of the story shows that mutual understanding and compromise ultimately strengthen their connection. This reflects a broader cultural tie in Mexican society where extended families often remain closely connected with multiple generations living near each other, sharing responsibilities, and influencing each other's lives. Next, the importance of tradition is also reflected throughout Coco. Mexican communities often see traditions as essential for preserving identity and unity, and the film emphasizes this through the Rivera family's shoemaking business, which has been passed down through generations. The use of Marigold's storytelling and family customs in the movie highlights how these practices keep cultural heritage alive and connect the present with the past. Then, the respect for ancestors is a central cultural value that reflects a deep connection to Mexican traditions. Rooted in the Dia de los Muertos celebration, this value emphasizes the importance of honoring deceased loved ones and keeping their memories alive. The film portrays this through the ofrenda, where families place photos, food, and marigolds to welcome spirits back to the living world. This act represents the belief that as long as someone is remembered, they remain spiritually present, reinforcing the idea that family ties endure beyond death. Lastly, a significant value is the interconnectedness of life and death, which is deeply embedded in Mexican worldview. In Coco, the land of the dead is depicted as a lively and organized society mirroring the living world. This portrayal reflects the belief that death is not an end, but a continuation of life, and that the deceased remain active participants in the community, connected to the living through memory, tradition, and love.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm going to be talking about the traditions and rituals and cultural characteristics in the movie Coco. So, first, start off with traditions and rituals. So, some rituals and traditions in this movie are the ideas of the ofrenda and the Dia de los Muertos. And for the ofrenda in the movie, Coco, Miguel's family actually has an ofrenda to remember their family, as well as, offerings. And the idea in the movie is that if the family member has a photo up on their family's ofrenda, they're able to visit. So, and then for Dia de los Muertos, the central focus tradition in the movie is, Dia de los Muertos. In real life, people will actually go to cemeteries and clean and decorate their loved one's grave. They'll play music, spend time remembering their loved ones as well. So for cultural characteristics, some of the ideas are the alebrijes, the use of music, importance of family, and the importance of food and decoration in the movie. So the alebrijes are the spirit guides in the actual movie, and in the land of the dead. So when Miguel crosses over, we can see the spirit guides. And then for food, we can see some of the tamales, and we can see the bread that's on like the ofrenda as like an offering. And like even when people go to the cemetery, there you can see the use of food. There's like wine and bread and all that stuff. For music, there's actually a lot of music. There's a lot of like traditional like folk music, and then obviously like the mariachis. Then obviously the famous musician in the movie, Ernesto de la Cruz. And for the importance of family, um, in the movie, the emphasis on family remembers is key because they use the photo to keep their spirit alive, and that's the way they can cross over. And we can, in the movie when Hector was actually trying to cross over, he wasn't able to because his picture wasn't on the ofrenda. So, that's the importance of like, remembering family and, having the picture up. And for decorations, we can see like the decorations around the ofrenda and like, hung up in like around the town as well. So, for cultural characteristics, that's what we have for that. And, it's I feel like it's pretty important culturally, to show, this side of culture and see, to show what it's like for the people who aren't a part of that culture. And, to conclude, these thoughts, the ideas of the food, decorations, and the use of music, and the actual movie being based around Dia de los Muertos is true to Mexican culture and traditions.
When Coco was first released, it received a great amount of approval and praise within the Mexican culture and throughout the whole general public. Many viewed the movie as a respectful and accurate portrayal of the many values and traditions that are found in real life Mexican cultures, like the Dia de los Muertos. Typical stereotypes found within many movies with the intent to entertain and add comedic value made to reflect a specific culture were happily not present in Coco. Instead, the film incorporated values and traditions in an educative and genuine manner. The directors and makers involved with the creation of Coco even spent multiple years in Mexico to deepen their understanding and ensure accuracy of how the film portrays culture, art, music, and family values. I've personally heard of people crying and resonating deeply with the film because of how accurate and true it is to Mexican culture. Although not all was perfect with the rollout of this film, after Disney made an attempt at trademarking the phrase Dia de los Muertos in order to commercialize and market the film. This was eventually given up on due to the public outrage, of course. This outrage would soon die out before the film release, and I believe the predominant Latin cast involved with the film played a huge role in its positive acceptance after the release. These actors and actresses were naturally associated with the Mexican culture that Coco was made to represent. All except one character in the film were of Mexican American descent, with the one that isn't being Peruvian. All in all, I believe this film was a huge success in the aspect of being a proper and respectful representation of Mexican culture and its cast members being a perfect fit to the roles they were assigned.
Hi, I'm Juliet Genova, and I'll be reading the cultural symbols in Coco. In the film Coco, several elements of traditional Mexican culture, specifically Dia de los Muertos, also known as the Day of the Dead, are incorporated into the film. Each symbol or icon contributes to the narrative about family and memories and paying respect to loved ones who have passed. Marigolds. In Mexico, marigolds are known as the flower of the dead. It is said their bright color and strong scent allows and guides souls to return to see their loved ones. Ofrenda. An altar decorated with pictures, food, candles, and personal items for Dia de los Muertos is called an ofrenda. Families believe the souls of their loved ones are welcomed by these offerings. Sugar skulls. On ofrendas, colorful candies, also known as sugar skulls, are used as decorations. They symbolize honoring those who have passed away, sharing cheerful memories, rather than getting caught up and dwelling on their life. Candles. Candles have a significant role in the celebrations of Dia de los Muertos, for the sole purpose in helping and guiding the spirits back to their family. They are placed in cemeteries as well as ofrendas. Guitar. The guitar in Coco represents family traditions and storytelling, in addition to what it serves as a simple instrument. An important component of Mexican culture is music, such as folk and mariachi songs that often get passed down through the generations as they come. Pictures. Photographs make up some of the most important symbols in Coco. While honoring a loved one, a picture is necessary in order to guide their spirit home. A picture of them is placed on the ofrenda in Dia de los Muertos traditions. In this culture, it is assumed that the spirit of a loved one cannot join the celebration without a photo of them.